Wow, people wey suppose talk true to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This man not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Aha.
Aha. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live. And if you are joining me on Facebook, I know that is where we are going to see so many of the bad belles, especially for the topic we are going to talk about today, this afternoon. So that is why I decided to connect my friends on Facebook. They can come here and pour out their own venoms so that would then justify everything I'm about to tell you. The mob mentality of those, of many of these Nigerians, I'll say. Mob mentality that will make them victimize and call for blood of those that are standing against their oppressors. So you are welcome to Maiyegun's Diary Political this afternoon. And like I said, invite them. Tell them Maiyegun is live. I have something I want to share with you. When you read online and you see these coordinated attacks, right, against those who are standing or speaking up against the oppressors and the oppression in Nigeria, yeah, you will find that the oppressed, the victims of oppression, right, who are asking for justice every day, they are also looking for just one tiny thing because they don't believe that they deserve anything better or anyone can actually fight for anything better on their behalf because their politicians, their oppressors, they have promised them and failed again and again and again. But that doesn't mean that we are looking for saints or we are talking about saints here. Omoyele Sowore, our own vintage Omoyele Sowore, is being vilified out there today. And we want to talk about that. I mean, let's lay the fact bare and let you be the judge. But you won't really be a real judge if you are one of the mobs. Mobs are those who are demanding, demanding leadership, which is responsibility from Omoyele Sowore that they will never give their backings to or their support to. Rather, they will give it to the likes of the lifeless Bokuwari, lifeless, shameless Bokuwari, or another Parkinson demented Tifnumbu, and other peripherals that they will adore. Because according to them, the likes of Sowore, the likes of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or any other person standing up against the rot in Nigeria today, according to them, they are going to be worse than the people that has made their lives miserable in that country. I was reading online just a few days ago, yesterday, and there was this lady. And I want you to see this from the point of you having an opportunity to understand the inside story here. Maybe I will have the opportunity of bringing Sowore on here sometimes. But now I want you to also pay attention to the pattern that whenever the criminal enterprise in Nigeria want to strike or lay hand or on an opportunity of a crack, lay hand on the opportunity of widening a crack, in the midst of those who are standing up against them, they never miss. Same thing they did to Omoyele Sowore in AAC. It's the same thing they did to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in IPOB, where somebody who was meant to be this on the Biafra struggle, somebody considered to be the deputy to the worldwide leader of the IPOB, reneged, called Nnamdi Kanu names, and at the end of the day became a saboteur that those who once referred him, those who respected him a lot, overnight were so disappointed that they had to turn against him. And look at what is going on today. When you look at those who are making the biggest criticism of IPOB or Nnamdi Kanu, you will find this guy there. Go back to AAC. There's a guy called Bernard, I can't remember his name. When they wanted to bring their crack in, right, they went to them, gave them money, instituted court cases against the person whose ideology was why everybody had to come together because they believed in it. But it is not always like that, right? There is this sense of entitlement as well that comes with getting or having a relationship with anyone who has an opportunity of, being in the public eye. I have had my own fair share, but it seems that I have actually learned in a long way to handle people when they come so close. A lady said after she was arrested for the NSAS protest, that she heard, in fact, in January, that Sowore told her that he discussed with Barrister Tokwe, that Aluta lawyer, that he discussed with him about putting in a proposal, a concept or something like that, so that they can write a proposal on or getting a grant. Number one, grant to support the cause of fighting for the injustice of this incessant arrest and incarceration. We are working on something. I can tell anybody that. See, I'm working on something. I know many people have told that, I'll get back to you. That I never got back to. Some of them are watching me right now. But I have learned to make sure that if I am eventually going to get back to you, you will know what we are going to get to do together in a way that it will be so clear enough. But that I don't get back to you doesn't automatically mean, maybe I have gone behind you to do something different in your name. And here is the deal. We are working on a grant, not just for yourself. We are working for others, including myself, just to make sure that what we are doing here, supporting people who are facing these injustices and all of that, continue to get the help they need, which is normal. You just went to jail now. Your case was taken care pro bono. So to an average Nigerian, yeah, they will criticize and question pro bono process, right? But they will never be able to be bold enough to push for the government that is budgeting for legal processes, legal this, legal that, but yet you can't have access to any legal aid whenever you are in their dragnet. We're going to do this and we'll let you know. So if they put together a grant in your name, listen to this. If they put together a grant in your name, definitely the organization that is going to issue such grants, they are going to contact you. They won't pay anybody. They won't do anything except you are there. Or if you delegate such power to anyone, right? 3 months after that, the lady said she spoke to the lawyer, that when she spoke to Sowore said, yes, you are working on something for me. Yeah, well, on his instruction, we had a plan of putting a grant request together for you, but I haven't worked on it. Oh, so you went to go and put a request. This is where the entitlement mentality of an average Nigeria comes in. Oh. So you went to put a request, a grant request for me, and you collected the money. You didn't tell me you want to put a request. So you were telling me that you will put a you put a request for me. Meanwhile, they haven't put any request for you. Right? Then we were like, okay, to help everybody out. This is the latest smear campaign. There are many others I'm still going to talk about. This one is the latest. If Sowore said, I am talking to somebody to put a grant together for you, great. I'll wait. At some point, are you not going to need my details? Are you not going to ask me for some personal details? Or are they going to forge that? Okay, let's wait. Okay, what is the name of the organization? And what is the grant going to be for? Is the grant going to be money for me? Or the grant is being sought after in my name to support the victims of injustice like myself? She didn't ask any question. It's a grant. Everybody will collect money. And the moment, God knows what really transpired. I don't know what happened. There was this voice call that she uploaded. Yeah. The voice call was the phone call between her and the lawyer, who was pretty much telling her repeatedly, I don't want to quote Sowore. I want to go back and read our text messages. I want to read about what we discussed on this so that I can give you the real answer. Oh, well, Sowore said that you are the one handling it. See, I can't give you that. I can't quote him. It's true that we discussed putting together. Oh, Sowore said you have now changed it. You want to use the money to get an office in Abuja. Okay. Well, listen, girl, listen. You are not the only person arrested because of Take It Back protest, or because of NSAS, or because of any other injustice everyone is suffering everywhere. You are not the only person. Good enough. You are also not the only person who has been arrested and closer to Omoyele Sowore. So, hold on. There will be a lot of things going on. And if you hear anything about your name being included, what you have to wait for is, what is it all about? Not a preempted, predetermined, conclusion like, hey, they didn't tell me because they want to steal the money. At least you have to know what money. You have to know who is paying it. You have to know if they paid it before you now started calling him. That man is a bastard. He's a liar. I heard the audio. And I'm like, then something is more. And it is not different from when Sowore was campaigning to be president. Omoyele Sowore said he wanted to be president. He rallied around everybody. People, including myself, willingly, no promise, no condition, willingly donated our money to support him. Since we are not going to ask him to give us money, right? Do you want to be president? What would it take you? Take this money. We support you. Willingly. Nobody put gun on anybody's head. Somebody said, he wanted to face a dreadful, corrupt, rigged, ruined system. And you know what it will take? He is never somebody from your NNPC. He has never signed any check. He has never approved any budget for you. He has never executed any contract for you, except for the smear campaign of they paid him. They gave him money, Joe. My brother, don't deceive yourself. They paid him. And we say, come on. If you are smart enough, right? I don't know how old you are. I don't know, and I don't care, right? If you believe enough that they gave him so much money, money enough to go and fight them, first, you will be doing a lot of us favor. Some of us are saying he is a scam, he is a liar, Sowore is this, Sowore is that. But you have no clue, because you can't give us anything other than, oh, Sowore is this, Sowore is that. Right? But we gave him our money anyway. It is our money, not yours. Maybe you will never give him your money. Yes, you will never give a scammer, Abby. But you will eventually go out there and support the criminals who continue to give a bag of rice to your own people you know, from your different villages, communities. You will continue to do that because you will never support a scammer who you believe is worse than the people who have spent over 4 trillion fighting Boko Haram. And today, don't let us go there. It is this same mentality of Nigerians. When Sowore asked us to support him, he was flying everywhere. People were buying tickets for him. His own supposed Nigerians who believe in his ideology, who were supposed to be proud that they have somebody who is bold enough to attract other people to support what they all believe in. Since you can't all be Sowore, you can't all be president, right? Instead of them to be proud, they started calculating, converting the enjoyment, because that's what they see. Sowore in Australia. This guy is just enjoying sha. Hey, see Sowore, see hotel. Sowore is sleeping inside the Blu-ray hotel. Can you imagine? Somebody that wants to fight for poor people is sleeping inside the 30,000, 40,000 naira hotel a night. Because that is what they are seeing. Then that entered them. They wanted a share of that. Because that is what the people they were supposed to be fighting. That's what they do. Share the money. Tell the people you are going to fix their lives. But when we get the money, share the money and leave them about. To them, that Sowore will have to also leave. That they have to take care of especially the project that all of them claim to support. Right? No. How can Sowore be sleeping inside there? Sowore is just enjoying sha. They decided to do what? To take peanuts from those who are waiting for the crack in Nigeria. It is all about the money, the entitlement. Somebody then declared himself the chairman without the Congress, without anything. All of a sudden, AAC, party of the oppressed, the party of the supposed party of the oppressed, take it back. The entitlement crept in. And that's what they see. And here we are. Sowore is evil. This is why Sowore must never be your president. But a lifeless BD mannequin can always be your president. Of course, it's Nigeria, isn't it?
People. Man of integrity, man of honor, incorruptible. Some simply say you are phenomenal in Nigeria's political landscape. How will you describe yourself personally? Who is Muhammadu Buhari?
Well, I like to start by praising teachers of my generation. I spent 9 years in boarding school, 3 years in primary boarding, and 6 secondary school. Now I think they do 5 years or 4, I don't know how many years. The teachers then, they were treating children and students like their own children. If you do well as a student, they praise you in the classroom and in the assembly hall, which is held daily, 6 times a week. If you misbehave, you will be flogged in front of your class or in the whole assembly hall. So the best out of you is brought physically and academically. You have to be well to survive. You have to do well, be doing well to survive. I was a class monitor. I was a junior prefect. I was a senior prefect. I was a head boy. I earned all those, and I know what I went through. But without good teachers, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
So who is Muhammadu Buhari?
I think I went through hell throughout my career in the military. I was a lieutenant in Lagos during the first coup, 15th January 1966. And if you bother about Nigerian history, you read coup, counter coup, civil war, coup, counter coup. I was all in it, including in detention for 3 and a quarter.
They are proud of that one. They want Sowore to be this, all clear, clean, and all of that. Because they they also want what Sowore have. But you can only earn it if you are not dubious in your ways. Let me tell you something. When I was growing up, it was my grandpa, my grandfather, who told me. I don't know, maybe I was probably about 12 or 13. I was a teenager, maybe 13 or thereabout. And he told me, Shola, close your eyes. I closed the eyes. He said, what do you see? I said, nothing. He said, that is it. Look at this word. Nobody owes you anything. I was too young, but somehow that lived with me until this day, and it will live with me for the rest of my life. So consider every support you get from anyone who is not your government as a privilege that you should cherish. I have seen people abuse relationship many times. I have seen good people destroyed many times. I have seen evil people praised, worshipped, defended, and even killed for many times. And the reason is because I am from Nigeria. I have seen abnormalities uplifted to the highest heaven, defended with every blood, while righteous people are persecuted and persecuted simply because the oppressed find it so easy to prey on those who can stand among them against these people. There's something I love about Omoyele Sowore. You don't have to agree with him on everything. Who does that? If you are living your life to be liked, if you are living your life to impress people, always impress people, always make them comfortable with what you say or do, then you are not living. You are not. Of course you're not. It's good to be good. That's the only thing that can clear you through every path. On this platform, Facebook, yeah, I have had people who have been asking many times, right? Maiyegun, you are raising money, you are raising money. Where is the account of the money? And that is when they want to be mischievous. Then when the people who have actually received support of Maiyegun's diary every now and then, when they come out and say, shut up, they say, my friend, shut up, I'm not talking about you. You are Maiyegun's dog. That is what they are saying to Omoyele Sowore now. I'm coming to Mazi, I'm coming to the IPOB, so that some of you who cannot relate, then you probably will have an idea how this coordinated mob works. And you don't get yourself trapped in it, in any of them. It is on record. Video evidence, where we have seen many, many young people who stood up, some up courage to come out on the call of Omoyele Sowore and so many other senior comrades right there, who believe they are taking Buhari to the cleaners every time. It's all they have for now, right? I have seen many, many of them brutalized, beaten up by the police, arrested, incarcerated, and made to appear before judges, compromised judges. Many, many of them are standing trial. And with the God knows where the resources is coming from, some of these chaps are getting freedom, and they call it pro bono. Do you really think pro bono means that it is for free? Do you really think everything is for free? You only believe everything is for free if you are living in Nigeria. Meanwhile, you are only believing that because you know it. Nothing is for free. Somebody is paying or picking up the tab. It's just not you. And you are just not meant to be bothered. That is why it's called pro bono. We have seen people arrested and released. We have seen many, many of them hospitalized and their hospital bills paid. But in all of that, nobody is asking who is paying for all of these things because they don't care. That's how the politicians tell them, I will make your life better. Don't mind how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. When you ask them how, they say, shut up. You don't have faith. Don't you believe in God? Don't you know God can do anything? And they change it for you. But somebody is paying the bill. It is either NGOs, organizations, or private pockets funding this. But to an average Nigerian, Baba, leave story, Joe. All of them are cashing out. All of them are just cashing out. Cashing out from where? From who? Those who are willingly supporting what they are doing? Those who see what they are doing, even when you see what they are doing, but you don't care. Sowore is just disturbing himself. It's just wasting his time. He cannot do anything like that. It's just blah, 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 blah. But there are people who don't see it that way. Have you ever thought about that? Or do you have a name for them? You're calling them what? Mugun Abi? Oh dear. Let me tell you what they are doing to the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If you look at those who are really hell-bent in destroying Nnamdi Kanu, those who really want to destroy him, they are not Hausa Fulani. They are not Yorubas. They are not from any other part other than the Biafrans. The Biafrans. Who knows about the struggle after the Civil War? Those who survived the Biafra War, they decided to politicize it, change the identity to be able to gain access into the general mainstream politics of Nigeria. And they call themselves Ohaneze Ndi Igbo. So for years, Ohaneze Ndi Igbo is meant to be a replica of the Biafra struggle, which means everything that has in the interest of Biafra is what the Ohaneze Ndi Igbo should be interested in. Any marginalization, any discrimination, any injustice, method that any Igbo man or woman in any part of Nigeria or outside Nigeria should be their own yardstick of fight, because that's why it should be. But they have to change name, change identity, redesign it, then politicize it in order to profit from it until the emergence of an Nnamdi Kanu. We will not go to politicians. We will not play politics of this region, that, to get money for himself in the name of fighting for Biafra, fighting for Igbo people. He won't do it. He decided to use the today's modern sort of crowdfunding. He knows that if you have anybody who is not happy with Nigeria, whether you are from the north, whether you are from the south, it doesn't matter. If you know somebody who is not happy, he is not alone. There are many, many like that. And there are many who are waiting for a time where they will have a collective agenda, a collective united front to fight the injustice. Ohaneze Ndi Igbo for years, for over 50 years. They have been making money from it. Is it whether military or whether civilian or whether interim or it doesn't matter. They position themselves every now and then by talking about the discrimination of Igbos in Nigeria. But when it comes to where to fight for it, they fight for themselves. Until Nnamdi Kanu came on. We will not go to politicians, like I said. Rather, rely more on the people who believe in him. And in this case, they are in the majority. But before they turned Nnamdi Kanu to somebody who will never settle for less anymore, he was once a pro-Nigerian too. So if you feel like Sowore hasn't gotten to that stage of Nnamdi Kanu asking to break up Nigeria yet, you will be right. But you can't demonize him simply because you are so much comfortable with the terrorist in charge of your lives. He's been on it for years, by the way. 10 years ago, Nnamdi Kanu also felt like Nigeria would be better.
My name is Nnamdi Kanu. The reason why we're here today is to protest the killing of innocent women and children, and men for that matter, all over Nigeria, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. We are not happy. We are not pleased with what is happening, and that is why we're here today. As you can see, there are a lot of Nigerians who are protesting about the killing of families. People who are determined to tear the country apart violently, and it is not something that we support. It is not something that we would like to see continue, and we are here today to send a clear message to the Nigerian government through the High Commissioner that what is happening in the country is unacceptable, and we cannot accept it. If that continues, it will lead to the violent disintegration of the country. There will be no more Nigeria for anyone to go to. There will be no Nigeria for anyone to refer to. In fact, what is happening in Somalia today will be like a tea party. So we cannot allow this nonsense to continue. Something has to be done. And the consequences of the actions of terrorism in Nigeria must be driven home to the people, so that even the terrorists themselves will be able to understand that there is no mileage in where they're going. The only thing they can accomplish is the breakup of Nigeria. If they think that they can cower people, if they think they can force people to be coerced into a religion which is not theirs, then they are clearly mistaken. We are asking for peace. We are asking for people to get together. We are asking for everybody who loves Nigeria, who is associated with that country, to please prevail upon terrorism in Nigeria so we can bring it to an end. That is why a multitude of Nigerians are gathered here today. Those of us in the UK are determined to work with the government for peace. We are determined to work with the international community for peace. But one thing we cannot stomach is a repeat of 1966. What is happening today in Nigeria was the reason why Nigeria fought a bitter civil war for 3 years between 1967 and 1970. If this continues, there will be another civil war in Nigeria. And this time around, no place will be safe in Nigeria. This time around, nobody will be safe in Nigeria. So it is imperative that everybody who has the interest of the country at heart acts now and immediately to stop this nonsense from continuing.
That was about 10 years ago. And today, when they called in the Operation Python dance, Operation this, Operation that, to come and kill the Igbos, the Biafrans in Igbo land, the people who made the call were these same Ohaneze Igbo, the Biafran governors, the Biafran politicians, not Fulani man who has always been waiting anyway if he has the opportunity. So this is how they staged the war too. They call Nnamdi Kanu a scammer simply because people who still strongly believe in Biafra, and they are ready to do anything and everything to achieve that. Not just talk about it. They have been waiting for a time that somebody again, that will not have any attachment to any of these rogues, criminals, who are using their names to continue to deal with Nigeria, somebody that will be so completely far from it. They found him, they trusted him, and they started funding him. Do you know what is called voluntary donation? Do you really know that all over the world that is legal? And it's that there's no amount of money you can't raise for any cause that is not violent cause. And as from the beginning, the IPOB members have never been violent, and you know that. You know it. So people are giving their own money to support what they believe in. Then they said, hey, Nnamdi Kanu is just enjoying the money. Biafra is a business for him. Biafra is a business for him, where people have died, people that shouldn't die, just because they're asking for their own country. In a country where you have people who are educated, enlightened, and exposed people, they justify a call for referendum that is a call for death. In such country, people that shouldn't die, they died. And you said that is because of money? Because Nigeria wanted to know that it's because of money? Really? And who killed them? Did they kill themselves? Did they kill themselves while they are fighting for, I support Biafra, I don't support Biafra? Or were they killed by the government who are also killing you for different excuses? When SARS kill you, they give you a different excuse. It's either you are wearing a dread, or you are dressing, you are sagging your trouser, or because you are carrying a laptop, or because you are a Yahoo boy, right? Or because they don't know why you are looking fresh when the rest of the people on the street, they are looking dirty. So when they shoot and kill you, they give any reason. So are you saying it is because of business as well? Hello. There are people who believe in what they believe in, and they believe strongly in what they believe in. And maybe it is just now, some of you are coming to that reality, wondering, how can people believe in something that even when they kill them, they still continue and they are ready to die for it? And your own excuse is, you should come and account for all the money. To who? To the Biafrans who know about their money already? To those who are making their contribution every month and keeping their record? And monitoring what they are using their money for? Or to you, who just want to tell us how ignorant you are to find an excuse in those who are receiving support for whatever they are doing? Do you really understand that? I have sat here, turned on my camera many times. If you put together how much money I have raised for different causes on social media, me, Maiyegun, put everything together, maybe you can put me very close to somewhere around 30 million. And this is not a joke. And for good causes. I hold no one any account other than the account of, are we seeing Maiyegun progressing? Was this how Maiyegun started? Oh, this is great. Maiyegun, you have improved a lot. Of course I have improved a lot. What do you expect? When I have people who are not thieves, who are not robbers, who are not manipulators, who are not bloodsuckers. When I have you, my friends, that whenever I call, hello, I need help for this person. Oh, I need your help for that person. What can we do for that person? Every time I call on you, you open your wallet, bring out your card, and you start putting them in like, Maiyegun, if not you, we go give you. I hold nobody account other than the evidence that you see that you may not really acknowledge. People love what they love, and their reason for why they love what they love is 100% up to them. Putting them side by side with politicians who put you in your misery, who continue to look away or either give amnesty to terrorists, and you watch them do this every now and then. Billions and billions are borrowed in your name, and you can't even ask them. Those who are asking them, you want them to be saints simply because they are not giving you the same wine they are drinking, simply because they are able to sleep in rented rooms that has 24 hours electricity so that they can sleep overnight, because that's the only chance they have until they will hold them back in the prison. They killed people around Nnamdi Kanu. So I understand that if you want to understand Nigerians better, all of them, no one is spared. Though. You will get to know those who understand the problem, and they will rather never, ever, ever find any excuses for them. Then you will find majority who actually love their oppressors differently. Some love them as PDP, some love their oppressors as APC, and some love their oppressors as religious leaders, Whichever oppression they choose, they don't want you to question it, especially questioning their Baba Gio. Some said Sowore was doing it also for money. He has a chance. Sowore can be like me. Sowore can just continue to do what he's doing. He has a platform, a very viable platform that is getting a regular yearly funding. That's what you do. You don't go to politicians because you want to be their seller, be in their good book, and start licking their asses, waiting for the crumbs, waiting for anything. Even if they give you the crumb, even if they make you their PA, even if they give you any of this appointment or any nonsense they give to you, you are not saved from the consequences of their misgovernance. You are not saved from the consequences. Which is the consequences you have now? Insecurity, joblessness, increase in crime, corruption, extrajudicial killing, kidnappings, all of these. They are the consequences of what you think when they give you that appointment and you start shouting. Honorable is doing his best. Honorable helped and paid the hospital bill of 3 women, 300,000 naira. Honorable paid for the blah, blah. You are mad, oh. You are mad. You may not know. And let me tell you something. No matter how you feel, they are responsible to take care of you, by the way. But if you think you are smart, no, you are not. You are a
wise. You are a mumu man. You are a mumu man. As in,
absolutely. Your government owes you a lot. And that courage to challenge them to be responsible in their own right is solely yours. But you gave it away. You gave it away. I remember when they accused him. There's a story. I've been looking for this clip, and I'm glad I found it, and I'm going to share it with you today. It is just something that, yes, they have destroyed the psyches of many Nigerians, okay? Since they have already weaponized poverty in Nigeria, everyone wants to be in the good book of the criminals because you don't want to be in their bad book. Even if they don't give you anything, even if you don't benefit anything, if you are your only benefit is that you are a victim of the brunt of their misgovernance, maybe you may become a beneficiary of the crumbs. And because of that, people make up mad nonsense in their heads, right? They said Sowore. That was the time they told us that Sowore was working for Tifnumbu. Today, the Lagos Abobakus, the Oshogbo Alimajiris, the crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the ass lickers of Lagos, right? They are now telling us that Sowore is being funded by God knows who again to stop Tifnumbu from becoming president. But remember this, in 2018, 2019, Sowore in Canada, he shed some light, and I have additional stuffs to also back this up. If you still have the time, if your nerve still carries it, enjoy this for a bit. I'll be back.
It was very hard to make. It's my connection with Tinubu, and I think today is a good point to clarify. And I say that I don't have any connection with Tinubu. I was shot into limelight at the same time that Tinubu was shot into limelight. Tinubu was a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 1992 after Babangida packaged that his transition program. I was the president of the University of Lagos Student Union. When they annulled the election, was the time we came in. If you're a student during our own time in the 90s, we actually did not believe in Babangida's transition program. And we said it because we knew that it would not go anywhere. Babangida was named Maradona because people knew that he was a liar and a deceiver. And we fought against it. But the moment they shot themselves in the foot by allowing Abiola to be elected, so we stood up and rose and fought it. Let me shock you with another thing. When Mandela came to the University of Lagos, I think around 92 as well, thereabout, and Abiola accompanied him to the University of Lagos campus. You know how the campuses are volatile. We drove him out. He ran away without taking his hat with him. The students collected the hat because we had linked him with corruption over time. But when this issue came up, I will say to you that when we will go to meetings, if there's a sitting arrangement for activists, Tinubu is behind me. I don't believe in religion, otherwise I would have said that. I've said this before, man and God. We were so powerful in our days, even though we were young people, that we were recognized for our bravery, not our age. Tinubu is definitely older than me, but Tinubu has never been more prominent than I am in the 90s. If you go online, you see a video circulating. I was standing behind MK Abiola in 1993.
That day I was outside that.
Exactly. So, you can imagine, we were there to tell him to discard the politicians who were a burden to him. Because of that, when we went inside, we saw all of them collecting money. And we told Abiola, these people will betray you. So, when Tinubu then left to come and form Nadeco abroad, we stayed in Nigeria. I didn't leave Nigeria until 1999. We didn't go anywhere until the military fell. So when you're talking about if I was in the army, I would be a general and Tinubu would be a colonel. I'm older, but in terms of ability to fight for what I believe, I'm better than him in that regard. But what happened is that in 1999, the moment they saw the opening, they came back from abroad. They didn't even ask to see Abiola before they met with the military leader at Dar es Salaam. And Abiola was killed the next day. But here is the truth. The pro-democracy movement, good people like you and I did not take the opportunity in 1999 when it came to us. We still ignored it and allowed riffraffs to take over the democratic space. And when the likes of Gani now came in 2003, they had already consolidated their hold on power. And Gani was barely able to get 50,000 votes, even though the man came before his time. Nigerians were asking, as they say in the Bible, that they want to vote for Barabbas, which was Obasanjo, when they had a Jesus Christ Gani. They said, give us Barabbas. And that is the country that we have now. But to address the Tinubu thing, I've only met Tinubu once in my life. And that was in 1999 before I left. I was in company of one Dr. Fashion, who was OPC leader. And Tinubu was passing by with Obani Koro, this same Obani Koro. They were canvassing for votes. And they said, this is Tinubu. Tinubu was wearing sandals. Yes, his leg with ashes, he was been roaming around. And at that time, he didn't even have money. I left Nigeria in 1999 because I knew the transition program would not deliver anything to. And of course, I had become sick, at that point. So I did not go back to Nigeria until 2004. So all the time that Tinubu was governor for 4 years, I wasn't in Nigeria. So I couldn't have met him. And in 2000, I think around when I started Sahara Reporters, one of the cases and report I did, which you can Google and find out, was to go and dig out Tinubu's drug history in Chicago. Yes, how they were carrying drugs and selling drugs. It's on Sahara Reporters. You can find the documentation there, so that the people of Lagos will not vote for him. But they ignored it. Gani found out that Tinubu didn't have certificates. They ignored him. The Toronto. Was it Toronto? No. Toronto was the speaker. But there's a Chicago certificate scandal. So, when people, and then Jonathan and his people started cooking up the story that I'm working for Tinubu simply because they couldn't bribe me. Between Tinubu and Jonathan, who bribes more? Tinubu does, Jonathan does, but Jonathan had a federal force. But this is why I will shock you, Stanley. When Jonathan was denied his mandate to become president, when the Yar'Adua people were playing games, he fell upon me and others working as our reporters to fight every day to let Jonathan become president. You can verify that. And when it was over, he sent Oronto Douglas to me that whatever I wanted, I should ask him, that he should ask me to pack my things and come to Nigeria. I told him, I said, I don't have the tolerance or temperament to work in government, because I will say my mind and you drive me out the next day. But if you can do us a favor, govern Nigeria so well. You know what Jonathan's first act in office was? The way I took the presidential jet to Lebanon with a woman called Bola Shagaya to go and buy gold. That was my first report on him, and he got upset with me. After that, he sent a guy called Imaniboro. That was said, Jonathan is in this thing. He asked me to come and see you. Just so that you understand the period, was the period there was ash in the skies in America. So I told him I'm going to California. When I came back, he said he's still in town because the ash would not allow him to fly back. You know, it was a volcanic ash. Yeah. And he said, but Mr. President said I should come and give you something. I said, what? Because I'm taking pains to expose these things to you because sometimes it hurts me. But I understand it, that Nigerians, every time they see the truth, they will go with what is false. And the truth in my case is that you've known me for 10 years. You think the federal government of Nigeria will know that I have a relationship with Tinubu, they won't be able to produce a telephone conversation with me and him. Or with all the security apparatus in the country, they can't find where I'm meeting with him and collecting money, as they say. No, the reason I'm able to do what I do is that I don't give a damn about any one of them. When the Buhari people came and they started messing up, the first reporting about how they were hiring in the CBN and through the back end was provided by Sahara reporters. The first report on how the chief of army staff was buying houses in Dubai was provided by Sahara reporters. Even the letter, the report about the wife complaining about the kebab inside this thing was provided by. The first reporting on the fact that Buhari was sick and was tendering to his health was provided by Sahara reporters. The first reporting about the 500 million naira they collected from MTN to do the MTN deal. I can keep counting and counting what we have done. You think if you had any relationship with them, they won't be able to say, oh, you used to work for us. This is how we pay you. They will expose us. But guess what? Sahara reporters doesn't even accept adverts from the government, any government agency for that matter. Because our position is clear. If you are a government and you are doing well, your work will advertise itself. Why should you be going to newspaper to go and be writing, to God be the glory? We have just constructed a tunnel here. To God be the glory. We just constructed a road here. It's all nonsense. Or you find journalists who go around collecting money from governors. They say they are doing constituency and they are doing project tours. How can a journalist know a road that has just, even if it's carpet they put on the road and claim that it's been done? Would you know? You are not an engineer. What's your business going around inspecting projects? So that is just to explain to you that it is fallacious that I have any relationship with Bola Tinubu, and anybody who says otherwise, I challenge them, because I'm speaking before the world, to present the evidence to anywhere, anybody and anywhere in the world. Thank you so much. So I don't want you to keep repeating the same thing. I know that.
Vintage Sowore. It is a challenge that nobody has taken for the past 2 years or 3 years. Do you think if they are paying him with everything he's been writing, with everything he's been doing, even when they said he was collecting money to overthrow Buhari from Dubai, they couldn't provide the money from Dubai, they couldn't produce the link, they couldn't produce anything because it doesn't exist. Do you get that now? But people will still believe what they want to believe anyway, but my friend, shut up, Maiyegun, you don't even understand. Sowore has to collect the money himself. So he didn't collect it himself, but he collected, somebody collected it for him. Tell us, help us. Help us. You must know something we don't know. Or when we ask you, who is your source? You will tell us to just believe you. Just believe me. Maiyegun, just believe me if I tell you anything. Really? Like if you tell me right now that I'm a thief, I should believe you. Yeah? I don't think the world work like that. Do you get what I mean now? That's not how the world work. Okay? Yeah, work doesn't work in that time. Okay? He's challenged you. He's challenged those criminals in government repeatedly. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came out and he said, if anybody in Nigeria, any politician in Nigeria, has paid any kobo, one dime, one kobo to IPOB, they should present the proof. 1 kobo, and to this day. But when you look at those, educated idiots, right, or miseducated morons, they will still tell you, just believe what I tell you. Oh, just believe me. Really? No, I don't just believe you. Because somebody who has a track record, I would rather believe somebody like that.
I can assure you that the position we are today. Let me inform you that it is either we do no retreat. If you want to follow me, I'm a member support you. I want to talk about the many of our donors as his legitimate children. He immortalized in Emperor Abiola, and that is why we are here. We are not hoodlums, we are not cows, we are not vagabonds, but we are responsible intellectuals in this country.
That's a 21-year-old Sowore. I think I would rather believe him than believe you that will give me nothing to prove to me that indeed. Yeah? So we said, let us know the organization that gave anybody any money. We can trace that. We are living in a much better advanced world now. So whatever you have at all, bring it on. And we can trace it. You will be helping us. Not just making up this, like Sowore said, fallacious accusations, right? We received the report that Bokwari has returned back to Nigeria. And I also received the report of your Tuscano jet that Bokwari withdrew $1 billion from the excess crude account for prior to 2019 elections. They said the 6 of them are ready. And as usual, you know what will happen? This is a copy.
That's why we're here, right there.
To fight Boko Haram in Nigeria. So we'll follow that through. And then, yeah, there's also something else I want to share with you as well. I think, where is that? Yes. Oh, yeah, I'll just leave that for now. So today, this afternoon, the reason why we have to do this and chip this in quickly is that, yes, they are not appreciated. They are being vilified. And the people who are doing it are the mob, who love their own oppressors differently. But you shouldn't join them. You shouldn't join them. And there's nothing wrong in you asking questions, okay? Ask questions, demand answers, explanations. That's what we all do, right? But don't join the mob of those that are already waiting. They have their grievances, various grievances that some of us don't even probably understand everything. Nobody knows everything, right? But whatever it is, right? If you have an opportunity of getting close or closer to anyone who has a chance of being in the public eye, whose influence can make something happen for you or people around you, please endeavor not to target them for destruction, because you may not know, right? Or you may not even think about it, that they bleed the same blood. They have the same feeling. They have the same dream, goal, just like yourself, same way you have dreams and everything. But all that is truncating that right now, which is what Nigeria is, brought many, many of you together. And don't target them. There's nothing special that they are getting that you won't get if you are true to yourself. And from their own struggle, maybe your own liberation comes. It's a freedom come, freedom cometh by struggle, freedom come. You know? So, meaning, if you do believe in them, it is a selfless and thankless job to go out there and put yourself and put your lives at risk, the lives of your family, people who know you, their businesses, their own lives too. It is a thankless job. Please, if you can't help them, if you can't make them better, can I please plead with you? Don't join those who wants to destroy them. It is in nobody's interest other than the interest of the oppressors that are pushing everybody to this precipice in the first place. It doesn't matter if you take my message or not. I hope you get to know that, yes, if you are looking for saints, if you are looking for probity, if you are looking for accountability, as you ask those who have put their lives there before, before the against the government in Nigeria, if you want them accountable, which I also encourages, right? Why don't you probably join them too? Make the number, make something happen, end that legitimate demand, and possibly stop being an ass. Thank you very much. I'm going to see my friends later tonight. If you have the time, join me later on Maiyegun's Diary tonight. And if you don't have the time, I'll see you next when I see you. You have a good day, good afternoon. Bye.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn àjò. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn àjò. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn àjò. Maiyegun ti dé. Gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn àjò. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn àjò. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn àjò. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn àjò. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ̀ lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹ̀rùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ tún ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ tún ra kì o. ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé